All right. Okay, welcome to Dev Talks, Dr. Amjad Saqib. Today we want to go over your work with interest-free microfinance. And I guess we'll jump right in. So what started to inspire you to start an interest-free microfinance program for the poor? What was the inspiration behind your work?
There is no one single inspiration. The whole idea, arises from the fact that everybody, wants to make a difference in life. So I was also very, keen to do whatever I can to make life and this world a happy place to live for all, people. So I initially joined civil service of Pakistan. Then I came to, I went to United States to study international development, and there I decided that my, abilities are more aligned with the kind of work which is already being undertaken in Pakistan by Mr. Sharaf Sultan Khan, and that revolved around poverty alleviation. The objective was poverty alleviation, but it revolved around community mobilization, participation, community-driven development, things like that. I also came to know the importance of microfinance, that how it changes the life of the poor people. And microfinance, as you know, is the provision of financial access, financial services to the poor people without taking any collateral. So on my return from the United States, I took leave from civil service, and then I joined an institution which was founded by Sharaf Sultan Khan by the name of Punjab Rural Support Program. And there I started working for poverty alleviation, rural development, through the time-tested approach initiated by Mr. Akhtar Hamid Khan and Sharaf Sultan Khan. But during that period of time, while I was convinced about the importance of microfinance and small credit to the poor people, but I was a little bit disillusioned because of the fact that the loans which were given with very heavy interest rate. So interest is, against the faith, against our religion, number one. And even if we think on secular lines, so this 30–40% is too much, which is, transferred to the shoulders of the poor people. So then we started our journey and thought of introducing a program which is without interest. And in Islam, this is a practice, this is a tradition of interest-free loans, which is called Qarz Hasan. For example, if you give $100 to your brother or sister or your friend, so you will get back $100. You will not get back $120 or $130. So getting the same amount back is benevolent loan. It is Qarz Hasan. So we thought that we should start this interest-free loan on a larger scale. So what we did was nothing new, but just institutionalizing the individual practice of Qarz Hasan. We created a pool of money, which is we call a revolving fund, and well-to-do people, rich people give their donations in that pool of money, and we are the custodian of that money. We give that money as loan to the economically active poor who want to start a business, things like that. So we give them, for example, if we give them $100, we will get back the $100. The operational expense is also borne by the donors. So the interest, which is, the cost of capital, is not taken because cost of capital is not paid to the donor. Donor gives it as a grant, and moreover, the operational expense is also borne by him. So this is how we thought that making a difference through microfinance and microfinance interest fee, and there is a plenty of learning behind this whole process, starting from Akhtar Hamid Khan and continuing with Sharaf Sultan Khan, and then this Saqib program. So we introduced some more innovations, use of religious places, non-discrimination, and all these interest-free and giving loans to the families instead of male or female. But the objective is fighting against poverty through provision of financial services, mostly microcredit, without collateral, without interest, and to the economically active poor to start a business and then give it back to us. We also inspired our borrower that once you cross the threshold of poverty through this business, then you should also become the donor. So you should also donate something to that credit pool, that revolving fund, to which he or she had already taken loan to start a business. So this is our business model. Vision is poverty alleviation. The philosophy is Mawakhat Medina. If you want to know about Mawakhat, then please see our website. It gives a detailed description. And this is the inspiration, this is the philosophy. And then strategy is interest-free loans. And the performance is that we started a first loan of $100 to a widow who purchased 2 sewing machines and then returned those $100 after 6 months. So that was the first loan. And today, after 23 years, Alhamdulillah, we have given around 1 billion US dollar as loans. And our recovery is 99.9%. We have given 6 million loans to 4 million families, because some families take once, twice, thrice, or 4 times when they give back their first loan, then they are entitled for a larger amount next time to expand the business.
Right.
This is.
Okay, so about this first loan that you gave to a woman to buy two sewing machines, um, what criteria did you use to assess the outcome? How did you even identify the woman to be able to give her the loan? Could you go a little bit into that?
Identification is quite simple. Anybody can get a loan. As an institution, anybody who is economically active, who knows, who is intelligent enough or smart enough to do a business, and who has good credentials, and who is not a drug addict or a criminal with history. So these are 4 or 5, measuring yardsticks, and anybody who comes up to our appraisal, then she is given loan, depending on her project and the business. So this is how we give loans, and the amount is determined by the project. That what is the project, and there are 150 different projects for which people have received loans from us.
Okay, and these projects or these businesses can be just they take the loan first before starting the business. Can they take a loan just based on an idea?
No, but once they have an idea, they will prepare a feasibility report based on that idea, and we will assess whether it is a plausible idea, whether he or she is, experienced enough to actualize that idea into the project. So we do a bit of due diligence. Then that idea, for example, if somebody likes to buy a fruit cart and sell fruits to the fruit cart. So this is an idea, but it is already a tested idea. Thousands of the people have fruit carts or vegetable carts or grocery shops or sewing machines or tuition center or, anybody who is a electrician or plumber. So there are plenty of ideas which are already not new, but being utilized by others. So people get a clue and then find a new place to start that.
Okay. And how did this program expand afterwards from the first loan recipient?
Yeah, expansion depends, the growth depends on more resources, and resources follow passion. If you have a passion, you will get resources. So we started telling people that, look, we have created a new dimension in microfinance, giving loans without interest. And if you want to become the part of that movement, and if you are inspired by the spirit of Mawakhat or solidarity with the poor, then you can contribute your donations in our Karze Hassan fund or the revolving fund, which I mentioned. So this is how we started spreading this message and getting more money, more money. And after 10 years, we even inspired the government of Pakistan and the provincial governments to loan us interest-free loans so that we can transfer that as interest-free loans to the poor people. So now our sources of resources are, individual donations, corporate donations, and then the government of Pakistan.
Okay. And can I ask, like, what's the relative distribution? Like, which category do you get the most donations from? Individuals, government, businesses?
There is we get institution we get resources from expatriate Pakistanis as well, individual rich people in Pakistan as well, corporate sector as well. But the major amount which we have received is from the government of Pakistan, but that is a loan. That is not a permanent grant to us. We will have to return it back to the government once the project ends.
Okay. Um, okay, let's move on to the next question then. So how does a HUD manage and protect the data of its borrowers, ensuring privacy and security?
Privacy is we don't tell anybody, but we have a very comprehensive MIS, and we enter all the information, your name, CNIC number, then credit history, then what type of business one is going to start, amount, then monthly installment. So all the information is kept in a very great inventory database, and then accordingly we manage it. That how does one every month we have to get the loan installments back from the borrowers. So it's a very comprehensive database and MIS which guides our staff to keep the record updated, and that's why we are maintaining 100% almost recovery percentage, because we have complete information about the borrower, his credentials, his business, and his cash flow, and his regular pattern of returning money.
Right. About that 100% recovery rate though, have you ever, like, what are the consequences if someone is not able to return a loan or their business does not work out?
If you study microfinance throughout the world, recovery percentage is around 98%. So any good program which has done due diligence, which has done good appraisal, social and economic, it is usually getting 97, 98%. But our program, I think this is the blessings of Allah Almighty, that since we are not taking any interest, so the borrower is even more inspired, and he is indebted to the institution that this is a unique institution which is not charging $130 after giving $100. So this is a mutual bond of solidarity, trust, and good relationship. Our engagement with our borrower is extremely important. We tell them that we are not giving you loan. We are your brother and helping you to stand on your own feet through interest-free loan. And you have got this money. So if you want, give it back. Then somebody else who is waiting for this will not be able to get this money. So there is a element of reciprocity, and people are credit-worthy, trustworthy. They will always be willing to give you money back if they trust that you are his friend.
So is there, you would say, no current protocol in case there's no, in case there's a person that's not able to return the loan, despite
There
all
is
this,
no,
trust
there is no, there is no.
protocol?
No. Protocol, we remind the people, if somebody doesn't give the installment, we send a message to him. We go and visit his house, but there is no coercion. There is no legal proceedings. It is just a normal social reminder and a social pressure. So
Okay.
we believe in you know, trustworthiness and creditworthiness of our people. So if somebody is not paying back, this is not intentional, or this is not due to any fraud. This is, we assume, is because of his difficult situation. So we keep on reminding, and people always come up to our expectations.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
People always come up to our expectations.
Right. Um, okay. I have another question following up. So, if it's possible, are you able to elaborate on the sustainability of a Huwa's model in the long term? I know you mentioned that borrowers who cross the poverty threshold are asked to donate some as well. Could you explain that a little bit more?
You know, its sustainability depends on the goodness prevalent in the society. When we started this program, we had two assumptions. Assumption number one is that people are willing to give, and if we create a revolving fund or the credit pool, we will be able to inspire people to donate, and we will be able to create a big amount of money. The second assumption was that people who get these loans are honest and credit worthy. So after 24 years, both these assumptions have proven to be true. Now this is universal truth for us, because starting from $100 and reaching $1 billion, that means people continue to give. There is no dearth of people who are willing to share their resources with have-nots. So this proves our assumption. And second assumption, 99.9% recovery also proves that people who get these loans, they are willing to return them. So now, as long as these two assumptions are true, we will continue to grow. We will continue to be sustainable, because on one side is the flow of funds, and the people are willing to bear the expenses. And on the other side, people are coming out of poverty, returning money back, and also becoming donors. So we cannot measure our sustainability in modern economic and market principles. But I usually say that where economic ends, the mawakhat or the Howard paradigm starts, because market economy, depends on market share. It hinges on profit. And in a Howard, we believe in giving, believing in partnerships. So we are willing to sustain loss, because when you give money and get it after 1 year, so some inflation has eroded the money, but we don't consider these things. We believe in the philosophy of Qarz Hasan and Mawakhat, and see it as the only best solution, because giving loans with high interest rate is not the solution. So it will create
Right.
a vicious cycle. So we, instead of a vicious cycle, are creating a virtuous cycle.
Okay. And about that idea of the borrowers becoming into like donors, um, when you talk about like crossing the poverty threshold, what is the measurement of that? Is it like the $2 a day poverty line, or what does that
No, there
consist
is
of?
no, we don't set any standards for crossing the threshold. This is borrowers to decide. If he
Okay.
thinks, if he thinks he earns 2,000 rupees at the end of the day, so we ask him, you can give only 1 rupee as a
Okay.
donation. So this is his or her choice. Even there are billionaires who don't want to give, and even there are, you know, absolutely, poor people who are willing to give in the way of Allah. So this is a mindset. This is your personal decision, that how much do you have, and how much out of that you would like to reinvest in the society and give in the way of Allah. So these are all subjective and relative terms, the poverty line. So I have seen people living in less than $1 a day, but still they are not poor, because poverty is not material only. Poverty is spiritual, poverty is moral, poverty is social. So this is a way of thinking. Our holy prophet, peace be upon him, never gave zakat in his life. So because whatever he had, he distributed by the end of the day.
Right.
So
Oh, sorry. Continue if you were going to say something.
that you can well understand yourself and appreciate that poverty is a state of mind. So this has not much relevance to the abundance of resources.
Okay, good to know. Um, okay, let's just get back to the logistics. So your team and the people who sort of work to manage the loan system, is mostly volunteers from what I understand. So who is volunteering? Are they students? And
Uh, there are two types of our supporters. One are regular employees, and one are the volunteers. Volunteer could be anybody. You can become a volunteer. A retired person can become a volunteer. Fiyaz Bakar Sahib is a volunteer. So volunteer means somebody who is willing to give time or his ability or his talent or his energy without cost or at a lesser cost from the market rates. So this is a volunteer. So this our organization is a combination of necessary compensation and volunteering.
these volunteers, are they mostly students or are they community members?
Anybody
Who are
can
they?
become anybody. We don't segregate, but students give time, and the senior people, community people, they give resources and professional expertise or trainings. So there are different kinds of people.
Okay, I want to go to one of the bigger questions. So, Dr. Akhtar Hamid Khan used to say that there are four categories of loan recipients: honest and competent, honest and incompetent, dishonest and competent, dishonest and incompetent. Do you use any such categories in assessing performance? And how do you treat such loan takers?
Obviously, we need people who are honest and competent. So why should we invest our precious resources on somebody who is not competent or who is dishonest? So categorization which Dr. Hamid Khan made is very, very correct. And we are naturally in search of people who are competent and who are trustworthy, honest.
I see. Okay. Um, I think we're almost through all of our questions.
And
Uh,
if you need more information, you can please see our website. There is a category of most frequently asked questions, and you will
okay.
be able to find that. And
Dr. Saab, I want to ask a question also before
sure,
we
sir.
leave, because I think your 100% recovery means that your failure rate is almost zero. And it depends on two important things. One is identification of the people who you think are honest and competent, but also preparation of the feasibility study, because that helps you in knowing whether this thing will fly or not, whether it will generate enough revenue for the person who is receiving that and pay it back to you. So could you tell us something about the feasibility, how it is prepared? Do your volunteers help those people to prepare
You
their,
know,
or
Faisal,
you have a format,
the
or
reasons for good recovery are manifold. Number one, good borrower. Number two, good appraisal. Number three, good project. Number four, good economic, due diligence. Number five, realization of the borrower that I'm a part of a big movement. I'm not getting money, but I'm being part of a mawakhat or a solidarity process. And number six, that this loan is a window of opportunity for him. He knows that only by one loan he cannot come out of poverty. He needs loan every year, maybe every 2 years, to grow his business. So if he doesn't pay loan back, he will not be given next loan. So he will not like to shut the window of opportunity. And seventh cause maybe, hard work of our staff, their, regular follow-up, their regular visits to the person. And above all, I think this is the blessings of Allah. If you believe in metaphysical reasons, then if you surrender to the will of Allah and follow the divine guidance of interest-free loan and inspiration derived from Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. So all these, intangible reasons are also supporting this whole, paradigm.
Okay. But could you say something about the feasibility report? Do you have a
Yeah,
standard
obviously,
template for that?
no, well, it's just one simple piece of paper that what is the capital investment, what is the, operational expense, what is the admin expense. For example,
Okay.
somebody wants to sell vegetables, so we would like to know where will he get it from, where will he buy it from, where will he sell it. So this is a very simple,
Okay.
it's not a very complicated. But I would here like to mention that banks give loan after appraising a project. We
Right.
give loan after appraising a person.
Okay.
So the person, the individual is more important than the project.
Yeah.
We try to find the best of the best people who are willing to come out of poverty, who are not beggars, who are not thieves. So more focus on appraising the person as an individual, but a little emphasis too on project as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I say one of our last questions were what for you was how can students at McGill support your work?
Yeah, as a volunteer, you spread our message, tell people that taking interest is not necessary. You can start an interest-free program as well. So be our ambassador, share our story, raise some resources, be volunteers.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you so
thank
So
you
much.
thank you
so
very
much.
much, sir.
Thank you.
Manur, so nice to talk to you. What a
Yeah,
pleasant
you as well.
experience.